Gonna be live. All right, we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Pastrami Nation Podcast. I'm Kevin, and joining me today is co-founder of Pastrami Nation himself, Mr. Jason Smith. How you doing today, sir?
Good. How you guys doing?
Doing
Doing
good.
good.
Trying to do that all in one breath, and I think I did it pretty well. I'm still
Nice.
working on my hosting skills, but I think that's how they do it. And of course, it wouldn't be Pastrami Nation Podcast without the Godfather of Toys, Mr. Christian Nacorda. How you doing today, sir?
It is good to be back. I feel like I haven't seen your guys' faces in a couple of weeks, so it's
Been a
nice.
while.
know.
Yeah.
It's nice
I
to be
know.
here. It's good to see
Dude,
you.
Good to see you. You feeling better?
Yeah.
I am. Yeah, man. That was I'll talk about it really quick because let's talk about getting old.
Yeah.
When you're when you like sleep weird and then you wake up and your neck like you can't turn it a certain
Oh
way.
yeah. Oof.
And when we were kids, like give it a couple hours and then it goes away. Now it's like give it a few days, and
Yeah.
we'll see how you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hear you on that. Arturo, thank you for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for
Yes.
checking us out. As usual, make sure to like and subscribe and share the show too. Sharing the show gets in front of more eyes and more ears, and helps us out a lot. So thank you guys for that. You can also rate and review us wherever you're watching us, wherever you're checking us out, whatnot. Arturo says, "Yeah, I'm the sleeping man, 42 years old."
Yeah.
That
You
check
know.
engine line came on.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like,
Mine's just permanently on. I put tape over it so it doesn't distract me
dude.
anymore.
yep.
It's insane. It's crazy how time goes fast. Speaking about how time flies, today we're going to be talking about the newest incarnation of Super Mario in his own movie from Illumination and Universal Pictures. The Super Mario Brothers movie. We'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about some of our favorite memories with Mario as well. And me and Jason have watched it, so we'll give our thoughts on the movie and what we thought about the whole thing and how it went down. Also, if you guys checked it out, let us know what you guys think. Let us know your thoughts, and make sure to check out pastramination.com. There is a review of the movie going to be popping up shortly that I wrote, so we'll see. That should be up really soon. So after this podcast, go check it out. It might be up today, tomorrow. Who knows? But it'll be up sometime this week. So definitely go check that out. So first, for starters, this movie is doing mad money. Like
Yes.
it is breaking records left and right. It is what is it, like the biggest like opening for an animated film ever now?
Yes.
Like I think it's
Oh,
made
crushing it.
300. Yeah, I checked it yesterday, and over the 5-day weekend, it was projected to hit 220 something million. Or no, 275 million, or I think it was 220 million 5-day weekend. It totally surpassed that, and globally it made $375 million over the 5-day weekend.
Oh my God.
That is insane. Those are intense numbers. Arturo, Pablo, what's up, guys? Thank you for joining
How you
us.
doing, guys?
Yeah, that's insane. Like that's crazy. But like, were any of us, honestly, I'm not surprised one bit. I mean, it's Mario. Mario has that appeal that spans generations, right?
Yeah.
It's not just for
Yeah.
kids. It's not just for adults. It's a little bit of both.
For kids and big kids alike.
Yeah, everybody. And I think we'll get into some of the complaints and stuff that people have had about this movie in a little bit. Some of them I understand, but some of them, even the same ones that I do understand, I have my opinions about them as well. So, so yeah, we saw it on Easter Sunday. The place was packed. There was a lot of
Nice.
people. The place was almost sold out. Families, lots of kids. And it was pretty it was a packed house. It was pretty cool. Like I hadn't seen a movie with that many people in a long time, because Arturo saw it on Easter Sunday also.
Very
It's a
nice.
fun thing to do, go to the movies on Easter. So initial thoughts about the movie. Jason, we'll start with you. What were your kind of initial thoughts on the movie? What did you think of the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Oh, I loved it. Like the way they touched on the nostalgia of it just at the beginning with the whole Super Mario Brothers Super Show rap.
Yeah.
Like I thought that
That was
was
cool.
great. And then when they get done with the commercial, like no, and then that one like Mario looking man goes, "It's a good," and he's wearing like the red overalls and the blue. Looks like a classic old Mario.
Yeah, that was voice that was Charles Martinet, correct? Is that his name?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Original voice of
cool.
Mario. Yeah.
That's fun.
That was awesome. And then just seeing him sitting there with his family and they all got mustaches and like I think was it the mom was trying to feed the really old one that couldn't see and the food like the spaghetti slipping off the spoon. And
Yeah, that was fantastic.
like, and just the posters like all on the wall, you see like a poster of Glass Joe from Punch Out and like the Duck Hunt poster.
Oh, that's cool.
Just it touched on so many different like nostalgia. And if you caught the building they're in, it says Punch Out Pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, just oh my god, like that scene when the Beastie Boy music came on when they're running through that construction site and it goes like a side scrolling like you're actually in a video game.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like side scrolling Mario action.
That's so cool.
It was.
Everybody was laughing in that theater when that happened. I was like, oh my god.
Dude, it's so just real quick before we pass up this scene, one of my favorite parts of the whole movie was probably the most meta of meta things I've ever seen in any movie was Mario playing a Nintendo. He was playing Kid Icarus on the NES. And I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. I was like, oh my God, like Mario playing a Nintendo.
That was awesome.
Like that was fun. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat as you are. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought that it flew by. It's only an hour and a half, right? 90 minutes.
Yeah.
The whole movie is built around nostalgia and Easter eggs and kind of reliving the story that you already know and love, right? Like they didn't, one thing I can comfortably say about the movie that some people might take it as a criticism, but I don't at all. Like it recreates the video games almost to a T, right? Like there are certain things that are different, obviously. This time around Luigi gets kidnapped, and it's happened before in the games, but generally it's Princess Peach who's the damsel in distress Mario needs to go save. So they changed that around, but the formula stayed the same. Everything stayed the same. And I thought that was fantastic. It felt like you were experiencing a fun Mario adventure. Enough to where it felt like a new Mario adventure, right?
Like a new game,
felt
right?
like felt like something cool and different and something like you really hadn't seen before, but something that was super, super familiar. A lot of people, were one of their biggest criticisms is that it's not deep enough or it didn't have that much of a story, right? Like it was just kind of a shallow exercise in nostalgia and Easter eggs. And that's exactly what it was, but that's exactly what I wanted out of it, right? Like I didn't need a deep dive into what it means to be a hero or life and death or like it's not Pixar, it's not any of these other things, and it just it's what they call escapist entertainment, right? It's just you go there, turn off your brain, check it out, and just have a blast, like with a big smile on your face. And that's exactly what I did. I had a giant smile on my face the whole time. I thought it was funny. I thought it was super clever. I thought a lot of stuff really, really worked. I thought that the flipping of turning Princess Peach into this just ultimate badass, she stole the show for me. Like she was easily my favorite character. She was by far, like, I love that they did that with her. Like everyone's so done with the whole, Princess Peach getting kidnapped thing. It was time for her to kind of be on her own and be who she's supposed to be, the princess. And I thought she was just amazing. She, like I said, she stole the show for me. She was my favorite character. There was a couple lines that I really like when Mario got up to the castle finally to meet her, and the two Koopas or the
little toads,
they were like, the toads. They were like, sorry, but your princess is in another castle. Like he knew that she was in there. Like that was really, really good.
That was awesome.
That was great. Arturo, Jason, remember store manager Mario? If I would have had him for a longer time, I would have made fun of him by asking, "Where's Luigi?" or "Go rescue the princess."
Yeah, you don't
That's
want to know what
awesome.
that guy was rescuing.
Oh, wish they would have used Yoshi to help more. Yeah, I mean, Yoshi wasn't even really in. I mean, Yoshi wasn't a character in the movie. Like there was a scene where you kind of see the world, like the
Oh,
Yoshi
Yoshi
world,
World,
and
Yoshi's Island.
yeah, but Yoshi isn't a character in the movie, which I thought was, I mean, I was kind of, a little bit bummed by that, but like I was totally cool with it. Um, but overall, I thought it was a really, really fun movie. I thought it was really great. I think my kids loved it. Like my whole family loved it. It truly is a movie you could take the family to go see, and everyone will absolutely have a great time. Like you'll
Oh
have a
yeah,
blast. Um, One thing, there are a couple kind of things that like kind of bother me, like little things, but that not necessarily have to do with the movie themselves. My main complaint with this movie, and after watching it, was I feel like they spoiled so much of what could have been cool seeing it on the big screen for the first time in the trailers. Because you
true.
see pretty much the entirety of the Mario Kart racing stuff is in the trailers. So like by the time it comes on, you're just kind of like, okay,
Yeah,
like you get excited for something, right? And you're super, super stoked for it. And it still was really cool to see. But once you get into it, you're like, and once it ends, you're like, oh, like I already saw all that in the trailers.
yeah. They showed
Um,
too much of that in the trailers. I agree.
Way too much. And that's that. I kind of wish they had kept that out of the marketing altogether, because that would have been, imagine seeing that in the theaters for the first time. Like they even select their own Mario Karts, like,
Yep.
just like in the game. And that would have just been super, super cool to check out.
Well, I
So
love did you get that Luigi's Mansion kind of vibe when
yeah.
Luigi
Oh yeah.
yeah, with the flashlight? I'm like, he
With
just
the,
needs to pull out a vacuum cleaner now,
I
and we're
love
good.
that. I thought that was fantastic. And then the Shy Guys pop up like right behind him and they kidnap him.
Yep.
I was like,
And
that's the
they even
best.
included that shy guy. I forget his name, the one that shot bullets from Super Mario Brothers
Mhm.
2. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about with that
I
weird
know what you're
mask.
talking about. Yeah,
It's like, oh,
100%.
yeah, it was. And I loved when Bowser just like burns that trooper and he turns into like a dry bones automatically. He's like, troopers, Goombas, whatever those things are. And it was the
That
little
was
spinies.
that was fantastic. And the other thing that kind of bothered me, so this is kind of actually this does have to do with the movie. This is a logic thing that I found a little bit crazy. I know I'm talking about logic in an animated kids movie, but I have to talk about this. Is there only one star in the Mushroom Kingdom?
Right, right.
Is there only one superstar? That is the thing that bothered me the most out of everything. I was
Yeah.
like,
Because you
I
used to
was
get those
watching
in
that.
every stage, right? Or every other stage, you would get an invincible star.
Yeah, at least. But in this one, there's only one. There's
Apparently,
only
this
one
movie
star.
was one stage.
And it's funny because at the beginning of the movie, sorry for we're spoiling it too much for you, Christian. I
No,
feel
no,
like.
no, no. Don't worry. Yeah.
So like, because at the beginning of the movie, you see Bowser, he gets a star, right? And you're like, he's excited. He finally has a superstar. And the whole plot is he's going to go take over the Mushroom Kingdom because he has this star. And he's going to try to get Princess Peach to marry him
Oh, that
because
was
he has
great.
the star. So when I'm first watching it, I'm like, okay, they did the thing to where, in the Mario games where you have to collect the stars in some of them, from all the different worlds. Sorry if my dogs are going crazy. I apologize.
Oh,
Um,
no worries.
but that's what I thought it was for a second. I thought they were going that route. But then you find out that it's like the invisibility star and the invincibility star. And I was like, wait, is there only one in this whole kingdom? That kind of bothered me a little bit because, in the games, they're pretty, they're not as sparse as like, they're not as like available as the rest of the power ups, but they're there. They're available. Like you said, at least every other level has a star, you know what I mean? A superstar. But I think that was the only thing that kind of bothered me. But it's a stupid thing to be bothered about. But I was like, wait, how come they only have one star? But yeah, I mean, otherwise though, I thought it was really good. The Peaches song
Yes.
was
Oh
magic,
my God.
was amazing.
That reminded me of like a Meatloaf song.
It was, it was Jack Black singing, it was,
Yeah.
him channeling his Tenacious D stuff, which I thought was fantastic. And I thought that was great. So, But yeah, overall, I thought it was a pretty solid movie. It's not, I guess like it's not so as much as I loved it and I love talking about it and I think it's fantastic. It's not that like, I was expecting and kind of hoping to walk out of it being like, oh my gosh, like this is the best animated movie I've seen in like 20 years. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
wasn't that. I can tell you that much. I mean, that's how I felt. Like it wasn't that, but it still left a smile on my face and I liked it. And I did love it. Like I thought it was just a lot of fun. And I'm certainly going to watch it again. Like it's one of those I can kind of see just kind of being that warm blanket, like when things are, going crazy, you put on Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh,
Like you can't go wrong with it. It's got that vibe to it. The voices, let's talk about the voice cast because obviously this is like the number one concern going into this movie for a lot of people. How is Chris Pratt as Mario? I thought he was incredible as Mario.
Yes.
I thought he did great. I wasn't necessarily on board with the Pratt train from the start, but I wasn't against it like so many people were. Like I was like, let's see how he does.
He nailed it.
He nailed it. He was great. Charlie Day as freaking Luigi was
My brother
amazing.
was worried about that because like he was worried about Charlie Day. He's like, he's kind of whiny and other stuff, and like he nailed the Luigi role. I was like, wow.
He did. I mean, because that's the character of Luigi, right? Luigi is kind of this like he's a scaredy cat. Yeah. I thought he was great. Jack Black as Bowser. Perfect casting. Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach.
Oh my god,
incredible. Keegan-Michael Key, I still have a hard time seeing his voice coming out of Toad. Like I can't imagine.
Like it's hard to believe that's him, Like
yeah, it's insane.
It's also like cute and like
yeah, it is.
It's like I remember him as that coach on was it Mad TV or something? Remember the coach with the short shorts saying Yamanashi?
Oh yeah.
That's right. He first started and like
oh yeah. Dude, like it's hard to see him voicing that character. But he did a good job. Like everyone did a really good job. The animation was beautiful. Like, it's Illumination, right? So like you get the really bright, colorful stuff. They're the same studio that did Despicable Me, Secret Life of Pets. So, and even that plays into the whole, when people are talking about this movie not being deep enough is like, it's Illumination.
Yeah.
Like that's what they do. Like they just do really fun, goofy movies, and that's totally okay. And of course, Yoshi doesn't play a huge part in the movie until there is an end credit stinger. Did you guys stay through the credits?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We do get it's a short tease, but they do tease Yoshi coming in the sequel. So I'm excited for that. Arturo asks, is it King Koopa or Bowser? It's Bowser. It's Bowser.
King Koopa was for the cartoon series.
King Koopa?
Remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember that. Yeah. I think for this movie, and I think now, like pretty much in the games and everything, it's just Bowser.
Yeah.
Well, Koopa is his last name, right? Because remember all the Koopalines?
Yeah, I know they did that with the John Leguizamo movie too. It was like also not Bowser.
That was interesting.
The Dennis Hopper Koopa.
Dennis Hopper.
In his finest role ever.
Right. Arturo also is it Princess Peach or Princess Toadstool? It's Princess Peach. I think Toadstool. That's another one that was
for the cartoon, right?
Yeah. Certainly Princess Peach. Every time I hear her name or think about her, oh, here she is right here.
Nice.
My little Peach amiibo.
Oh, I gotta love amiibos.
Dude, I had
sitting right here.
I had a Rosalina amiibo, but I gave it to my buddy because he really wanted it, and he was really hard to find, and he's a massive Mario fan. So
I just found this. I forgot I had it.
Oh, nice, Rob. Oh, nice. I like the Game & Watch.
Game & Watch.
The Game & Watch one is really, really cool. I think, like this movie was so much better than the 1993 Mario Brothers movie.
Why you think?
You know, I still remember when that movie came out. I was like 13, 93, right? Came out in 93, I think.
We were excited
Um,
for it, you know.
dude, I was stoked. Like I was so excited. I was ready to go. I was pumped, right? But me being me, I didn't do my chores. So I was made to stay home while my whole family went to watch the Super Mario Brothers live
God.
action movie. And
Ouch.
it was the worst day of my life. But then we bought it, you know, when it came out to video, or we rented it or something. And I remember like thinking, I still remember thinking, like, even when I watched it as a kid, I was like, that was amazing.
Yeah.
But
Just
upon
little things in there. Like, remember when Koopa pulls out a gun and he has like the bullet bill?
oh
like,
yeah,
bullets. I'm like,
oh
my
yeah,
God, it's bullet bill. It's bullet bill. Like,
yeah, all those little things you're so excited to see in live action for the first time. And I'm not gonna lie, I still watch the movie on occasion,
oh yeah, yeah.
just for the cheese factor, because that's what it is now. Have any of you seen the restructured cut on Super Mario Bros? No, we have not.
No,
I need to check that out.
me too.
I've heard about it, but I'm very curious about checking it out. Actually, that would be really cool. I'm gonna have to find that. But yeah, so that was definitely an experience. But yeah, I mean, you know, listen, everyone kind of has their opinions about this movie, and I totally get a lot of the criticisms and everything that it's getting. I understand it all. But I mean, I had fun with it. I thought it was great. Like I said, it's kind of the definition of escapist entertainment, and I had fun. So definitely check it out. Let us know what you guys think. Definitely leave a comment and let us know. Since we're talking about Mario, let's talk about the thing that inspired the movie, obviously, the video games.
Yes.
Cinema's Podcast. Some of it is pretty ugly since it's put together with damaged film strips, but nice. But the pieces added back in help quite a bit. I'm certainly gonna have to check that out. I wonder.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could stream it somewhere, like, of course, totally legally, of course, which will only
absolutely.
promote legal stuff. But no, we'll find it. Let's talk about the games a little bit. You know, I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, well, I still remember it was a Christmas morning. I think it was like 85, 86 when my dad got an NES, right? He got it. He somehow got his hands on an NES and was playing Mario. He would like to say that it was for us kids, but it was for him. Like the whole time, he was the only one allowed to play it. What are some of your guys' earliest memories with Mario? Were you guys on the NES train when you guys were kids, or did you guys kind of come across it a little bit later on in life, or what's your guys' story with Mario?
Well, we were poor, so we didn't actually get an NES.
For the record, we were poor too. I have no idea how my dad afforded that thing. But anyways, go ahead.
But yeah, like so we got ours. I want to say it was Christmas like '89. I was in 6th grade. But hey,
nice.
We were stoked, and like that was the first game we played on there was Super Mario Brothers, and like I would get so excited. Oh, it's a Koopa Paratroopa, you know, the turtles with the wings, and then like we were hooked instantly because we actually our first introduction to Mario was the Super Show before we actually played the game. You know,
that's cool though. I
remember I played it at my cousin's house, but I'd get to play like one level and that was it. My cousin would snatch it away, or he'd go hide that game and put in Gyromite or something. So I had to play that. You know, like thanks. And because my cousin had that whole package with like the robot and everything, you know,
that's cool.
And we got our NES. My mom got us one. I was in 6th grade, and it was just like the most awesome thing ever. And I remember we would put games on layaway at Kmart, like Super Mario Brothers 2 and
dude, yeah, no shame in that, dude.
Yeah, it was awesome. Donkey Kong was a little disappointing because I finished that in like the second day we had it because there was only like 4 levels because you got Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. in 2 games. Games in one. Yeah, and both of them were only 4 levels. So I beat them both and I'm like, that's it. But Super Mario Brothers 2, like way better. Princess Toadstool was my character I used in there. Princess Peach. She had the best jump of all of them. She kind of glided. and you could pick between her, Mario, Luigi, or Toad.
Yeah.
Her jump, just the way she could kind of glide back and forth.
She was always my favorite too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I loved how you could pick up the bad guys and like throw them at, like, you jump on top of a shy guy, walk around on them.
Yeah, that was so cool. Christian, what about you?
Yeah, I was really, really young. I realized now, I don't know. I think when I was a kid, you just think your parents are like super old. And then I realized in 87 or 86, my dad was like 27 years old. You know what I mean? He was, and I think about that now. I'm like, God, I was a numbskull when I was 27. But yeah, I remember him coming home with NES. I remember Mario. I was really young. I must have been like 3 or 4. But yeah, my dad, he would literally, I would see him and in the living room, like, I'm like, okay, good night, Dad. He's like, yeah, good night.
Yeah, that was my dad too.
Yeah. And then I would come down in the morning. He's still like, but yeah, I think I've talked about this before. I remember my dad would like come home and like rushing in from the garage and like put his briefcase down and open it and pull out this torn piece of paper. And he's like, look. And I'm like, what is it? He's like, up, down, left, right, left, right, PA start. This is before like Nintendo Power, before the internet, obviously. I still to this day, I want to ask him. I don't think he'll remember, but like, where was, I don't know. I commend him for that. That's really cool. But I remember like Gumshoe, Duck Hunt, Excite Bike. There was a lot of games. For me, it was Super Mario 2. That was the game that I loved more than the first one. And I didn't really play that much of 3. My cousin had 3, but I didn't have 3.
Oh, dude.
3, wow.
But yeah, but I know 2 was the odd one out because it was like a reskinned other game that they just turned into a Mario game. But man, I loved that game so much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, completely understandable. So let's do this real quick. What is your all-time favorite Super Mario game? You could pick 2. I'm going to allow you guys to pick 2. What are your guys' 2 all-time favorite Mario games? You guys go, and then I'll go last.
Chase, go for it.
I'll go. My Super Mario 3, just because we got Frog Mario and Tanuki Mario, and like I thought that was the coolest thing. Like, wow, like a Frog Mario, and turns out they actually had different abilities. You know, like Frog Mario kind of had a precise jump, whereas and then the Tanuki Mario could turn into that stone like statue, and they'd walk right by you, and that was, and then. My other one had to be Mario 64. I got that when I graduated high school in 96, and fall of 96 the N64 came out. Mario 64 was just like it was next level at the time, and I used to just love, like, there was that castle at the beginning. I don't know, I thought just because of the zooms and everything, I thought it was the funnest thing to put myself in that cannon and just shoot it straight up, and it felt like you were like on a ride at Disneyland. Yourself falling down. And you guys remember that big giant bomb that would like follow you up that one like sky kind of bridge?
Oh yeah,
I used to love picking him up and then walking him to the cliff and throwing him, and you'd see him falling like way down there. I'm like, wow, like it blew my mind. Like, this is next level like graphics and stuff, and it was Super Mario Brothers. So that game still has like a special, and I bought that one. Like that was the first system I actually bought, you know, like that I had money, and I was like, I bought, because normally my mom would buy them for us, or, you know, we'd earn it somehow, but she'd buy them. But like, that was the first one that I bought, and college financial aid. I'm like, money well spent.
Right. Exactly. There you go. What about you, Christian?
Yeah, it's 2 for me. I know like 3. I was so hyped for 3 with the Wizard movie with Fred Savage and everything, and like the hype building up to that. I just didn't have it, so it wasn't a game that I played obsessively. My cousins had it, so I got to play it when I went to their house. But yeah, it's definitely 2 for me. And can we include Mario Kart games? Because like the OG Mario Kart,
might as well.
Yes.
God, I was so competitive with that game. Yeah, that I put like the original Mario Kart on like legendary video games of all time. Like that's like GoldenEye status. Like, you know what I mean? So for me, it's Mario Kart and then Mario 2. I totally understand Mario 3. I totally understand Mario 64.
Yeah.
So
Arturo's got Pablo says Super Mario 3 and Mario 64 as well. Pablo, I love throwing those penguins off the cliffs in Mario 64. Yeah, that was
yes.
So mine, Super Mario 3 is like just one of the greatest games of all time. Like as far as platforming games go, I feel like it just revolutionized so much stuff. Like the Tanuki suit was one of my favorite. It's my favorite power up in any video game ever, and that was in any Mario game, and it was in the movie too, and that got me so
That was
excited
awesome.
to see that. Like that
Oh.
was just mind blowing. Like, not gonna lie, just real quick, like there were a couple times in this movie just from pure nostalgia where I kind of teared up a little bit because I was like, this is happening. Just like the scene at the end with the superstar, I was like, this is like one of the greatest days of my life right now. This is happening. I love this. But there's, it's really, really tough because now that we've thrown in Mario Kart and everything into the mix, there's so many Mario games that work really well. You have Smash Brothers, especially Super Smash Brothers Brawl. You have Super Mario Kart. Most of the Mario Karts have been amazing, especially the first one. But I think my second favorite, Nintendo 64 was a huge system for me as well. That was one of the first ones I bought also. So that was a really, really big deal. But I have to go, it could be recency bias, and I get that. But I think Super Mario Odyssey is one of the funnest, most well thought out Super Mario games I'd ever played in my life. Like it's an absolute blast, and it shares elements from the whole history of Mario in one game, which I thought was really cool. Like there's a lot of platforming stuff. There's a lot of kind of, free roam kind of open world type stuff like Mario 64. It does everything just right. Like it does everything perfectly. And there's that one level, I forgot what it's called, but where you're in like the real world, so to speak. So like you have regular people walking around the kind of, animated versions of us. Yeah.
That part was such a trip,
dude. And like you have the big thing with what's her name, what's the girl's name, the singer that was in that,
who is that?
Shoot, I totally forgot her name, but she was amazing. She was great. There's a big Mario celebration, and it literally goes through the history of Mario and everything. That was just so much fun. Yeah, I love it. And I love the customization too. You can kind of change your outfits and change your suits, and that's just a fun part of it. But there's so much you can do. You can control Dinosaur Mario. You can control with Cappy and stuff. Like it's just a lot of fun. Anyone pre-order the special edition Mario movie Blu-ray? No, I have not yet. I have seen the Steelbook. They have the Steelbook at Best Buy, which is really, really cool, which I do plan to get. I think it's coming to Peacock on like May 9th or something like that. Like it's coming super quick to Peacock in streaming.
Well, I seen Arturo mentioned the Dr. Mario game. Wasn't that the one that was kind of like a Tetris?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That was a fun game. That was
yeah.
That was really fun.
Games. Is there a Mario game you guys didn't like? Like, has there ever been?
So no, I mean, just real quick before I get into that, there is like a bunch of other games that I failed to mention. Like the Paper Mario series are really, really fun too, especially the new Paper Mario game for the Switch. The Origami King, I think it's called. That game's it's incredible, silly fun. But is there one I didn't like? What about you, Christian? Why don't you start, or one of you guys? Do you guys have one that you guys don't like?
Jason, you probably take it because I don't think I've played enough to dislike. I really enjoy them. So
the only one I didn't like is because we used to rent it and I couldn't really figure it out. There was a game called Mario is Missing.
Oh, I remember that.
Super Nintendo, and it was more like wordage and questions as opposed to like side scrolling. I think that's why I didn't like it, because it was more of a thinking kind of a. I mean, I was a dumb high school kid renting games for Super Nintendo. This is not what I was looking for. I'm thinking maybe like I could never figure that one out. So that one's my dislike. Every other Mario game I've loved.
I can't. I mean, there are ones that I certainly probably wouldn't dive into again, but I didn't not like them. You know what I mean? Like I enjoyed them. I just once was kind of enough. But I'm trying to think of one specifically because it's so hard. It's so hard to figure out which. I think if I did have one, if we're talking about like just Mario in general, Mario Kart, anything like that. I know I might get crucified for this, but Mario Kart Double Dash, I think that was for the GameCube, the one where you have two riders, and like it just got like that's one I didn't really care about. I think that's the only Mario Kart game where I was kind of like, this is just kind of dumb. The whole reasoning for that was just seemed really dumb to me, and I was like, nah, I don't need this at all. But I think that's pretty much the only one I don't care for.
So I have a question for you guys. What do you think? I think this is an obvious answer, but it's maybe the two-part question. I know that the answers are going to be obvious, but what do you think is going to come first, a Mario sequel or another Nintendo property movie? And the second part of this is, what other Nintendo property movie would you guys want to see?
Oh man, dude. So to answer the first question, it's definitely going to be a Mario sequel.
Yeah.
I think that's
Absolutely.
first and foremost. Man, I would love, man. So I'm torn because so if we're talking animation, right? Like in this style, that's it, because obviously it's going to stick within this realm if they're going to do anything else with the properties. I want to see, so I would love to see a Metroid movie, but I would love to see it in a more realistic type animation or live action, right? I feel like Metroid would work really well live action.
Right.
But if I'm going to pick one to do in this animation style, it would be Zelda. I think this is the way to go for Zelda. I think using this animation, that'd be my pick. They could even do a Donkey Kong, right? Because Donkey Kong, we didn't even talk about Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
Yes.
And I thought his voice was different enough it wasn't, I guess it just wasn't Seth Rogen-y enough for me. Like, not enough, but like people were complaining that he didn't even try, but I'm like, it sounded fine to me. Like,
he did good. And like, if you watched it and you didn't know that was him, you wouldn't know that was him.
Exactly.
So it. It's
until
not
he
like,
laughed. Then
you guys remember that movie Paul with the alien?
Yeah.
Basically that's just Seth Rogen as an alien.
No, absolutely. What about you, Jason? Or what do you think about the?
I really would love to see a Punch Out movie, like and that could be either live action. I'd rather it be CG, but I'd like to see live action just to see who would get cast as who,
and actually get Mike Tyson at the end.
That'd be sweet, like an Easter egg of Mike Tyson at the end. There's some big guys out there you could cast. Like, I'd love to see who got cast as King Hippo.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, there's I think Woody Harrelson would make a great Glass Joe.
Oh, I like that. I really like that.
And what's that other one that gave me problems? Was that the tiger guy, the one with the turban on his head?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did that like spin around thing.
Oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah, it was the Pitbull guy who would dunk, 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 and then like you didn't know when he was gonna throw the hook. Now I changed my mind. I want Punch Out.
That'd be awesome.
I think that'd be cool. I think Star Fox would be amazing too.
Oh,
yes.
Forgot about Star Fox. God, I was
NDWK Star Fox. Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Arturo says Nintendo property and Donkey Kong for sure. What were you gonna say?
Who?
Oh
no. Yeah. That's. I mean, I don't know enough. I don't think I was like. I'm not that deep of a Nintendo kid, unfortunately. So, a Metroid, I would love to see live action. Star Fox, I would love to see by like a different. Not. I want to see it animated, but I wouldn't want to see it from like. What was the name of the company? The production company that did.
Was it Rare?
Oh, Illumination.
Illumination. I don't think I would want to see an Illumination Star Fox. Yeah. I'd want to see something maybe like a. Is it crazy? Like a Fartiche, or like, you know what I mean? Like maybe a different.
No, I get what you're saying.
Studio. Yeah,
I'd like to see like not Thunder. Remember Team World Police or like Thunderbirds? That style kind of.
Oh yeah, like, Team America.
Star Fox done like that. Like, what is that? Team USA World Police.
Team America.
It's Team America.
Team America.
America.
Yeah, I think that would be badass.
Really quick side story to that. I used to when I was working at the toy company, we used to rent space out of the Kyoto Brothers studio. The Kyoto Brothers did all the puppets for that.
Oh, that's cool.
Those puppets are huge. If you've never seen them, they're like at least like 2.5 feet tall. They're really really big. I only seen one of them, but I got to see Matt Damon.
That's cool.
That was really cool.
That would have been the
awesome.
best. Well, that's cool. Well, guys, if you guys haven't checked out Mario, go check it out. It's playing in theaters. Like I said, it's going to be, they've already announced it. It's streaming on Peacock May 9th. So you can wait till it's there. Yes, there is a Tetris movie on Apple TV now, which I've been meaning to watch. I do want to watch that. I hear that's really, really great. Have you guys seen it?
No.
No, I want to.
Okay.
And it's rated R, so I want to see what warrants a rated R.
Yeah, no. Well, it's an espionage type movie, it
Russians.
seems. So, yeah, exactly. So yeah. So before we leave, there's a couple other things I kind of wanted to talk about that isn't Mario related. I say a Smash Bros. I think a Smash Bros. Movie, like pull it together like an Avengers type event, right? Like you get all these properties to do their own things, bring them into like a Smash Bros. Movie. That would be amazing.
That'd be sweet.
Bring back Ryan Reynolds to give a voice for Pikachu. There you go. I think that would be fantastic. So there's a couple of things I want to talk about. Today we got a new trailer for the Marvels. This film featuring it's going to be teaming up Miss Marvel, Monica Rambeau, and Captain Marvel on a pretty crazy, it looks like, adventure. Their powers are switching back and forth. I'm very, very excited for it. I think, like I said before, Quantumania kind of killed my superhero vibe for a while, but I think with Guardians 3 coming out, Across the Spider-Verse, and this movie, The Flash and the Marvels, I think I might be back on board because I think this movie looks fantastic. I think it looks hilarious. I have made my thoughts well known what I thought about Miss Marvel. My second favorite MCU Disney Plus show, easily by a long shot. And WandaVision's my number one, which also featured Monica Rambeau. So I'm excited. What do you guys think? You guys excited for this? I think it looks like a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. Like,
yeah,
it's going to fill that fall movie void that I had totally forgot about that too. And then like I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, that's right. That's coming out.
It's happening. Directed by Nia DaCosta, I believe her name is. She directed the Candyman reboot remake that recently came out. Christian, you excited for it?
I am. I'm worried, but I'm cautiously optimistic. It looks like it's either going to be like really, really fun and I'm going to love it, or it might. I don't know. I don't want to assume that it's going to be annoying, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. The trailer was a blast. I laughed my ass off watching it.
Listen, I like the first Captain Marvel. I thought the first Captain Marvel was a lot of fun.
That was good.
And I think I just really hope that they just lean into it, right? Like just lean into the humor, have fun with it. Just don't try to be too serious.
Prefer. Right.
Yeah. Just have fun. Because I think that'll work if they do it that way.
Definitely.
So other big thing, I don't know if you guys want to talk about, there's a big thing in London this weekend called the Star Wars Celebration with a bunch of announcements.
No, we don't talk about Star Wars. Last Jedi was peak Star Wars, so we're good. We don't need to, Star Wars doesn't exist anymore after Last Jedi. Because it was so dang good. And I'm not lying when I say that anyways. But yeah, Star Wars Celebration. What do you guys think? Is there anything that really, really excited you from this event?
Got a couple of trailers. We got an Ahsoka trailer. We got an Indy trailer.
Dude, I cannot.
That looked fantastic.
I'm gonna cry.
Really fun.
And the figures, the toys that they showed over there, like especially the Indy figures.
Yeah,
we're getting a short round figure. They showed the Indy figure hugging him like the movie scene. I'm like, yes, we're getting a short round.
That's really cool.
I did see. We did watch the trailers. The Ahsoka trailer. It looks good. Looks serviceable Star Wars. But yeah. What were your guys'? My favorite news that could come out of the whole thing was that they're updating Star Tours in 2024 to add.
Yes.
So I'm hoping we get Mandalorian. I'm hoping we get something in there because that would be incredible.
Actually, I wish I was there. Like the last one I went to was in 2015 in Anaheim.
Oh yeah.
I needed to come back to California or possibly Vegas or somewhere drivable.
2024, 2025, they're doing it in Japan.
That's a little out of my jurisdiction, But we were that 2015 one. We were just sitting there having lunch, and these people are like, "Yeah, you can sit at our table." So we're chatting it up with them, and they had the English accents. My buddy tells me later on, "Look at this picture of this dude. We basically sat and had lunch with the young Boba Fett from Episode 2."
Oh, no way!
Daniel Logan, cool. I believe his name is.
Yeah,
and really cool people, but like we didn't know at the time, and they're just chatting it up with us, talking about how bad that lunch truck sucks compared to that one over there. And
that's cool.
It was like its own kind of like vibe, because everybody's there, Star Wars, and like
Yeah.
I'm a pin guy too, so like I always like the Star Wars Celebration always does their exclusive pins. Like one year they'll have a different artist design all of them, so each year you're getting a different style of a bunch of characters.
That's cool. Christian, real quick, I have a little bit of beef to pick with you that I'm going to do this right here on air.
Boy,
let's do it.
So I watched the newest episode of Mandalorian.
Oh boy.
I thought, man, it was the first episode this season where I actually felt engaged and actually cared about anything that was happening on screen.
Oh wow, yeah.
No, I was just joking about the beef thing, but no, I thought it was great, and it wasn't because of who was there, right? Like it wasn't the guest stars, and I thought, even though I thought, listen, people are giving them crap for it, and I'm like, who's to say Lizzo honestly was not a Star Wars fan growing up, right? Like people are saying she's not nerdy enough and all this stuff. I liked it a lot. I was like watching it. I was like waiting to like hate it. I was waiting for something to happen to hate it, but I was like, this is fun. Like this actually feels like Star Wars again.
And we got battle droids.
Yeah, we got battle droids. Yeah. There was a lot of like running through cities.
I'm just joking, by the way. I know.
I know the general consensus about the season of The Mandalorian. I know also like viewership has dropped by 25% this season. I also think this is like the most focused season of The Mandalorian, because like when you look back at like the first two seasons, as wonderful as it was like little episodical, like, oh, here we're on this planet and we got to do this fetch quest, and then okay, now we need to go do this because I need to get that before I get this. And like this season, it feels like it's just one cohesive story. Like they kind of bait and switch. There was one episode where we kind of got away from everything for a little bit, but that was still pretty cool. I love Bo-Katan. I'm just a big Clone Wars fan, so I'm a fan of all of Filoni's characters. I love Ahsoka. Ahsoka is like top 3 Star Wars characters, period.
Yes.
So I'm really excited to see that. I love what they're doing with Bo-Katan. I'm kind of worried though, because they announced that this is all going to culminate with like a big movie.
I was going to actually ask you about that.
All of it, which I think is a horrible idea, because they're putting themselves in an endgame situation, where it's like you're leading up to this one great thing, but then what happens after? You know what I mean? Like you're gonna the fandom's gonna fall off immediately if you don't have something planned for that. You know what I mean? And if you're trying to like all of this momentum that we're building up is just going to one thing, I don't know. I'm hopefully they can pull it off. So,
and that was my my issue with the big announcement that Filoni was directing a Star Wars movie. I was so excited, but then I found out what it was, and it's this story that you're talking about, that they're going to be wrapping it all the series with it. And I'm kind of like, they're just kind of giving him kind of a scrappy movie, I guess, with all of the characters that he put on Disney Plus.
Right.
So
a little bit worried. I am super excited. James Mangold directing,
dude.
Yes. If that comes to fruition, oh my god, it's gonna be great.
And we're getting a new one set 15 years later with Rey.
Yeah, that'll be
you guys already know this. I'm not a fan of the Rise of Skywalker or whatever.
I hate Rise of Skywalker with a passion.
But I love Daisy Ridley, so I'm totally
Thank
okay.
You.
Yeah, 100%. I have such a the definitely top 3 celebrity crush for me. So whatever, they said that it might possibly tie into Grogu also, because like I think her whole thing is like reassembling the Jedi Order.
That'd be cool.
So I think a Rey Grogu kind of coupling would be really cool to see.
That's cool.
That'd be awesome.
Anthony Blanco, what's up, man? You're here.
You made it.
You're here with us. You made it. Show's almost over, but we still appreciate you coming. We missed you.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so yeah, Star Wars Celebration, I think it was weird it being overnight this time, because I'd wake up in the morning and there'd be all the Star Wars news and I'd be like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
And I remember like
it was weird, but I liked it because I liked waking up to that kind of news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun watching all the interviews. I just watched like the Diego Luna, Tony Gilroy interview today. And then there was a couple more with some other people. It was cute. Like Ewan McGregor just came out on stage just to say hi.
That's awesome.
With his like little swirly mustache. So cool.
That's awesome. So there's a lot of exciting stuff. And I think
also unrelated to Star Wars Air, I saw it this weekend. Really loved it. You guys should go check it out.
I do want to see that.
Yeah. It's weird because it builds up all this like, oh, what's gonna happen, all this anticipation, but like if you're over the age of 5, you know the ending of this story.
Right.
It's really, really well done, though. Really well done.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna check that out definitely.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I definitely want to check that out.
I watched the uncut, the unrated Megan on Peacock the other day.
Mithrigan. We call it Mithrigan.
Yeah. Hey, wow, pretty damn
I haven't
good.
watched the uncut yet.
No, you got because the one you saw was PG-13, right?
Yeah, we saw it in theaters. I've been meaning to check out the one on Peacock.
They didn't have the bloody scenes in the theater, did they?
It's some, but obviously you can tell that they cut. You can tell what they cut. Like you can tell, like they cut a lot of it out.
Yeah, it was
Have
good.
you guys watched Knock at the Cabin?
No, is that good?
No, not yet.
That's the one with Dave Bautista, right?
Yes,
Right.
yes. It's very much so. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. Like it's perfectly in that M. Night Shyamalan average kind of tier. So where it's not like The Happening, right? It's not like on this edge of The Happening, but it's not Unbreakable, right? So it's like it's kind of like in the middle. It's what's that?
The Village.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, or even Signs, right? Like I really like Signs. I like Signs, but it's kind of like just kind of mid tier. Even Split, it's kind of like Split was actually really good. Actually.
I like Split a lot. Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like it's just kind of the mid tier. But I thought it was effective, but it was way too. And this isn't a spoiler. It's just way too it's way too straightforward. Like even for a Shyamalan movie, you're just kind of like
interesting.
Like you're just like everything they say is going to happen happens, and you're like, oh well, they said that was going to happen, so it happens.
It happens.
That's it.
Check it out.
I haven't seen it, but I saw a review, and they were like, I just feel like if I was in that house, I could have talked my way out of it, and because of that, they didn't like it as much. I don't know what context that means or what that.
No, I kind of see what they're talking about. But there is a character in the movie who is basically trying to talk his way out of it the whole time. Like it doesn't work out very well, right? Like I thought, Dave Bautista was fantastic. Like he was him, Jonathan Groff, and I forgot who plays the other dad. What's that?
I love Jonathan Groff.
Like he's Ben Aldridge, I think his name is. Mm-hmm. I believe his name is. Them two as the dads are just Jonathan. Yeah, I love Jonathan Groff. Like I'm saying this publicly. I'll marry Jonathan Groff. Whatever. I don't care. No, he's fantastic. Yeah. But like I think that they're amazing as the dads. There's one dad. Jonathan Groff kind of plays it a little bit more. Like he kind of plays into it a little bit more as far as what the people are talking about, where his husband is playing it more kind of trying to, he's a lawyer. So he's trying to essentially lawyer his way out of it. And I'm not going to spoil everything, but like you kind of see this interesting dynamic, and the daughter, she's just kind of stuck in the middle, and she does some really, really cool things too. But yeah, no, I mean, I definitely recommend it. It's on Peacock. So like,
hey, we know what happens to lawyers in any movie, right?
What's that?
We know what happens to lawyers in any movie.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not going to ruin it, but there's some really good stuff. Like I said, it's on Peacock. I think it's only like an hour and a half. It's not even 2 hours. So I certainly think it's worth a watch.
I made the mistake.
What's that?
I made the mistake of watching Murder Mystery 2. Oh God.
Yeah. I honestly never watched part 1. So.
I did, and I didn't like it. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah.
Usually I'm a sucker for like bad Adam Sandler stuff. So
yeah,
like I really recently rewatched Blended. I don't know if you guys the Drew Barrymore one. I don't know why I like that movie. I've seen it twice.
That's the one where they go to like that resort, right?
Yeah.
That one wasn't bad.
In Africa.
Africa.
Yeah.
I like really bad old Adam Sandler. I don't like really bad new Adam Sandler. So I honestly have kind of passed on all of his anything like what was that Hateful Seven or Hateful? What was that thing he did that Western that he did on Netflix? I stayed away from it. I actually can't remember though. I think Click was honestly the last Adam Sandler movie that I watched.
Cried like a baby watching.
Yeah, that one was more of a tearjerker.
I liked it a lot. I did watch Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems was incredible.
I gotta see that. I hear it.
Still, yeah, same.
Yeah, he's like it's for someone with anxiety. it was a horrible idea to watch that movie, because that whole movie is just one big anxiety attack, just like happening. But it was really good. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have no desire to see the Murder Mystery 2, though. I haven't even
Don't.
seen the first
Yeah,
one.
it's bad.
Well, Murder Mystery 2 now on Netflix. Go check it out, guys. If you like, let us know what you guys think about
You're looking
Murder
for something to
Mystery
put you to sleep? That's the movie for you.
Yeesh.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for checking out the show. As always, make sure to leave your comments, reviews. Let us know how we're doing, man. Let us know how everything's going. Let us know how you guys are too. Come chat with us. Let us know. You can find Pastrami Nation on all the socials. Find it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. What's that other thing? The picture one? The Pinterest. That's the one. Pinterest, TikTok, and all that stuff. You can find me on all that stuff as well. Kevin_Hoskinson on TikTok and all that fun stuff. Jason, they could find you on Friendster and MySpace.
MySpace, you can be my top 8.
The top 8. Again, just look up Jason Smith on Facebook. You'll find him.
There's only one. Just Google it.
There's only one. And Christian, where can they find you again? They can find you everywhere.
All of the places. Christian what the hell? Christian Nacorda, no space. Instagram. I've been active again, so if you guys want to see what I've been up to, it's a lot of less like movie scenes and more like real people now. So it's just fun. Like
I've been seeing some of it.
The drawings I've seen,
really
Thanks.
Badass, man.
Need to post something. So, but yeah, that Facebook. Everything else also lightning shout out to Donut Media, big fans of you guys, so
that's awesome.
If any of you guys are watching,
very cool. Well, awesome. Well, thank you guys for checking out the show wherever you guys watching and listening, and remember, we'll see you guys every Tuesday. Come join us on Pastrami Nation. We have something always going on the YouTubes and the Twitter and all that stuff every Tuesday night at 7. So thank you guys. Have a good night. Take care of yourselves and each other. We will talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Let's end this.